Hey guys, Jordan here, and in this video I'm going to be talking about camera settings, so let's get into it. Alright, so I talk about real estate photography on this channel, so if that's a topic you're interested in, make sure to subscribe. On this video I just answer a couple questions on a video that I got. Actually one of my more popular videos, which is how to shoot real estate photography. It was a job shadow I did. If you haven't seen that, the link will be in the description below. But Jorgen says, why do you use auto ISO and why not shoot f8 to f11? So those are kind of the standards for real estate photography. In this particular job shadow I was shooting, for the most part I typically shoot auto ISO. Now it's not full auto ISO. I don't leave it on the default 1 to 400. I have tested my camera. I know how it functions at certain ISO ranges. So on that particular job shadow, I believe I had my camera set to auto ISO 100 to 400, right? So it would go no higher than 400 and no lower than 100, which is typically the minimum for most cameras. Now in regards to aperture, the higher the aperture setting, like f8, f11, you're gonna have a slower shutter speed. But yeah, f8 is a pretty safe one. That's what I shot starting as a real estate photographer. And there's no really right or wrong answer on an aperture setting. There's a standard where you want more things in focus, but I think there's pros and cons to different settings in regards to aperture. In that particular video, I believe I was shooting f4, which is pretty low or pretty wide open. I typically don't shoot like that, but on that particular property I would. But you just need to know the limitations of the gear that you're using, right? You don't want to create some weird depth of field scenarios, but if you have a wide focus area, you're not really gonna get have any depth of field issues for real estate photography. And in that particular video, I did like shooting f4 over like f8 or f11 because I like to move quickly through the house. And with the wider aperture, the lower setting in the f4, I would have a faster shutter speed instead of slower and making the video longer, etc., etc. So there are times where, you know, there's like a mountain out in the distance in the foreground, and I want that in focus. Yeah, then crank up your aperture because you want, you can run into issues with depth of field and things being blurry or not. But with a wide setting, for the most part, you're not gonna have many issues. At least I didn't. And then that camera, or that shoot, I was using the 16 to 35 Zeiss f4 lens from Sony. I would say there's no right or wrong answer when it comes to camera settings. You just need to know the capabilities of your camera. Is it gonna give you the result that you're looking for? That's the ultimate question versus is this the standard for real estate photography setting? No, it's not. People usually shoot manual ISO 1 to 320 and their aperture is at f8 or f11. But look at it. If you have a high aperture, you're gonna have more likelihood of artifacts. If you have any dust on your lens, that stuff is more visible. So there's like pros and cons to different settings. So you need to kind of know your camera. What result are you looking for and what are you getting at a particular camera setting with your setup? So anyways, that's it for this video. If you got value out of it, hit the like button and we'll see you guys on the next one.